Hello po mga ka-UJ. You are now watching Unity Junction Radio. We are live on INCTV and of course on INC Production Company's Facebook page and YouTube channel. Sana po ay maayos naman po inyong mga kalagayan. Ako po, syempre, si Sister Bea. And of course, kasama ko po, syempre, ang aming pong resident pilot, si Kuya Randall. Hello, Kuya Randall. Good evening.
Hi Bea, pleasant evening to you, and it's another Saturday evening here in the Philippines. And of course, we would not allow Saturdays to simply pass na hindi natin nakakasama ang ating mga ka-UJ radio from different time zones all across the globe. Kaya once again, magandang umaga. Kung umaga man sa inyo, good afternoon and good evening. Thanks again for tuning in with us. And Bea, napaka-excited ng lahat ng mga viewers natin kasi they already know na ang topic natin ngayon is something that is a concern of everyone. But before we get to the topic, let me start by greeting po, a couple of greetings po, belated happy birthday to Tita Beth from the local congregation of Kongbalay, district of Cavite. So greetings coming from Tita Belen, Mommy Belen, and Leanne. And another greetings po to Sister Melody and Brother William po from Cairns Group Worship Service, District of Australia East. Greetings coming from Sister Jerlene and Brother Ronald. And once again, hello po kay Lola Daddy, Lola Sining, and Mami Belen sa Tagkawayan, Quezon. Lastly, for this part of my greeting, happy viewing din po kay Sister Jerveline from the local of Maligaya, Distrito ng Caloocan North. Thanks also for continuously and unfailingly sharing po our link, not just UJ Radio, but to all the INCPC programs. Ayan.
Yes. And of course, ayun nga nabanggit nga po ni Kuya Randall na ang topic natin for tonight is a very, very timely talk po. Also, ito alam nyo na, nakita nyo naman sa title, but tonight po we will be talking about the COVID-19 vaccines. Ano ba ito? Ano ba yung effectivity nito? Lahat ng mga tanong nyo po ay sasagutin, pipilitin po nating masagot ngayong gabi sa ating pong episode ng UJ Radio. And before anything else, syempre babati na rin po ako. Happy belated birthday po sa aming lolo, kay Lolo Kaboy po na nasa Bulacan last Sunday ba? Last Sunday. Happy belated birthday, Lola. We love you so much po. And also, happy belated birthday po kay Baby Saysay sa Lenga po sa Bataan. First birthday niya. Also po, kay Kuya Ed, kay Gian, kay Ate Kim, and kay Kuya Chad po, kay Ka-Chad po ng INC Production Family. So, birthday nila last week. So, happy belated birthday. At dahil po dyan, let's have our first INCMV. This one's for all of us po. Performed by the INC Production Company. Talents here is Walang Dapat, Katakutan. We'll be right back.
Pagkagising sa umaga ay makikita si tatay sa loob ng aming bahay, tila nagbubulay-bulay.
Sabay naming kakain, mag-aalmusal. Talagang ang oras ay kay tagal.
Ilang oras pagkatapos, tanghalian na. Inaabangan naming lahat ang luto ni nanay.
Maya-maya ay maglalaro kaming lahat sa sala. Ganyan kami ngayon, stay at home muna. Ano man ang sakit ay may lunas, iyan ay pagsubok, malalabasan.
Na pamilyang nagpapanata, ang Diyos ang kasama. Manalangin sa Kanya, magpakasigala. Walang dapat katakutan.
Marami mang ligalig, makakaya natin. Bahagi to ng pagpapadali sa atin.
Kahit anong mangyari, isa na ba ang ating pagsamba sa Ama?
Ano man ang sakit ay may lunas, iyan ay pagsubok, malalampasan.
Sa pamilyang nagpapanata, ang Diyos ang kasama. Manalangin sa Kanya, magpagkasigla. Walang dapat katakutan. Oh, oh, oh.
Oh, ang karanasan
karanasan ito'y masarap ikwento. Sa mga susunod na henerasyon, ito'y patotoo.
Na ang mga pagsubok, positibo ang dulot.
Tumibay ang pamilya kapag ang Diyos ang kasama. Di tayo pababayaan,
Laging aalalayan.
Ang malasakit ay may lunas, iyan ay pagsubok, malalampasan. Sa pamilyang nagpapanata, ang Diyos ang kasama, manalangin sa Kanya, ang kasiglan. Walang dapat katakutan.
And we are back here on UG Radio. And of course, for this part of our program, it's time to meet our guest for tonight. So, Kuya Randall, please take it away.
Thank you so much, Bea. And without further ado, allow me to introduce our resource person for tonight. She is a doctor of medicine, a graduate of the Far Eastern University Dr. Nicanor Reyes Foundation, Manila, holds a diplomate in occupational health from the Philippine College of Occupational Medicine, has a string of training and seminar certificates, fellowships, and memberships in various medical societies. She currently serves as a physician of several companies and is the medical director of the RMA Lion Clinic Corporation. A volunteer doctor of the Iglesia ni Cristo Social Services Office and the New Era General Hospital, and former president of the Christian Medical Dental Paramedical Society, a loving wife, a nurturing mother and grandmother, and a deaconess from the local congregation of Almanza, Metro Manila South. Let's all welcome to UG Radio po, Dr. Ruby Valderrama Andoque. Ayan, hello po, Mami Doc.
Hi, Mami.
Hello everybody. Magandang gabi po. Thank you for inviting me here at our UJ video. Thank you very much.
Maraming
Yes.
salamat din po, Mami Doc, for your time.
Yes, Mami Doc, baka may mga gusto po kayong batiin. Now is the time po.
Thank you very much. I would like to greet yung aming distrito, Metro Manila South. Also our local minister, Almanza Local, our church members and officers also, and of course the staff of RMA Lying In, my family, my husband Mike, my children Earl, Angel, and my sister Maduds. Thank you.
Ayun. Hello po sa family po ni Mami Doc. Ayun, Mami Doc po talaga ang tawag niya sa amin, sabi niya kanina. Dahil po iyon din po ang tawag kay Dr. Ruby anywhere she goes because she's very motherly. So kaya excited na po kami ni Kuya Randall. Again, welcome po to UJ Radio po, Mami Doc. So we have a very interesting and timely topic for tonight. Kaya po kayo po ang naimbitahan namin. So please, let's get right to it. Paki-explain po sa amin at sa ating po mga viewers what we need to know about the COVID-19 vaccines po, Mami. So may PowerPoint presentation po tayo. So Kuya Kevin, paki-up na po yung ating PowerPoint presentation. Ayan. Sige po.
All right. To start with, I would like everybody to look at the picture of our COVID-19 structure. Marami ho siyang spoon-like structure sa palibot. There is a green shade dark and meron din hong lighter shade dark sa gitna.
Yes.
The spoon-like structures are the one that will attach to our cells, and then the membrane is the green one wherein the attachment plus the encapsulation will take place. And the next important part there is the encapsulated protein, which interacts now with the virus. that is already connected to our cells, own cells. Now, let's
Oh.
see the next slide, please. So how does COVID vaccine works? Now, there is this diagram that we can follow, no? So from COVID-19, the infection goes to our system by way of the nasal passages, oral passages, by transmission from the hands touching our face, or just from the surfaces we touch and then we touch our face. And then the host cell now has the infection.
Mhm.
Now, later on, we will be talking about the vaccination part. But as the virus enters our cell, it now brings about damages. Now, in our nasal passages, going to our lungs, our lung tissues, our air passages, and creates what they call the cytokine storm. Now, this is the very root of all the problems. No, when the cytokine storms start, that is where the inflammation becomes big, even for the body to handle, and that is where some medications are directed. Now, the vaccines, the viruses have entered our system. Now, let's go to the next slide.
Mhm.
See
Alright.
there, as it enters the body, now the antigen in our body sort of welcomes them, and then they go to the lymph nodes. From the lymph nodes, they activate the T cells. It is for the T cells to also activate the killer cells. This is when this is already around 3 or 4 days that you have the infection. And then when you activate the T killer cells, you now have a killer virus also. So an agent that kills the virus, I mean. Now let's go back to the T cells now producing or stimulating the B cells. Now this is the good news. The good news is the B cells will now start creating or manufacturing antibodies. This is what we hear as antibody G, IgG, and IgM. Now this signifies already the body defense. Now, what you call the protein that has been, the spike protein that has been incorporated with our antibodies, it is now called neutralized spike protein. So let's say the body now, the infection now enters the body, having had the vaccine, and this neutralized protein will recognize, oops, this guy is not from here. Now I have the defense of my body. See, that's the arrow going to the defense. Now the body recognizes this, and therefore this virus can no longer create the inflammation, the deadly cytokine storms, and thereby it becomes milder. No, all right. So further down the diagram, you can see that the virus can now stop from entering the body because we already have the defense. And then the next question is, how long will this fight or battle in our system will last? Fortunate for us, after having the storm and having regained or recovered, we do have the antibodies protecting us for the next 90 days. For the next 90 days. That is the sick. Now, for the vaccine, we have at least, again, 3 months to 4 months. And when everybody has already the vaccine, then maybe perhaps we will have the herd immunity, right? So if we have the herd immunity, then COVID-19 is ending. Okay. So let's go to the next slide. These are the types of vaccines. It may be quite small on your screen. Now let's see. So for the first column, we have the DNA and RNA. Now let's cut it short. We do not have this yet in our country. It is a hope that we will be able to do this because this is the best so far, right? But it's not been allowed yet in our country. Now we have the whole virus, the second column. This is killed already. The virus is killed. It is heated or chemically killed. Now, they say that this type of vaccine is not as effective as the live attenuated or the weakened virus. Now, we see this in our old vaccines, such as the polio vaccine.
Okay.
And to say for a while, the Sinovac and the Sinopharm uses this technique. Okay, let's go to the third column, which uses the viral vector. It's the part of the virus is being used to deliver viral genes to build immunity. Now, this is live, no viruses to elicit a stronger immune response. But however, this has only a number of cells that can deliver the said effect, like AstraZeneca. If you were injected 1,000 parts of the vaccine, you'll only produce 1,000 parts of your protection. So it cannot expand. It doesn't replicate itself. Unlike other vaccines that can replicate itself, and you can get as much as 10,000 spike proteins that can protect you. Now, proteins subunit, there is a use of piece of virus on the surface that will focus on the immune system. It is the part that will offer the protection that cannot cause infection already. So parang it only will boost long-term immunity. And that is the Novavax, which is not yet here also in the Philippines. Okay, next slide. So we can now see the summary of all these vaccines. So let's see. Who do you think is the topmost?
Yung po mga may
It's-
100.
Yeah, 100%.
BioNTech. Oh, BioNTech. And then, what else can you see?
Yung po,
Not so much of Sinovac.
Yes po.
Oo. Oo, and Johnson & Johnson, no? Not so much of them.
Yes po.
But you see, here's the thing. If only people will have been vaccinated by any vaccine that will come along, then we can produce the said herd immunity. And in doing so, we can already stop the virus from multiplying, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, so I don't really think there's this issue of who is the most
Effective po,
magnificent and effective, no? It's not that. Let's all be vaccinated, all right?
Yes.
So there.
Anyway, Doc.
I think we have questions already.
Anyhow, just to expound po, sa umpisa pa lang natin, Bea, pero we've already heard so many and
Yes.
so much medical terms po.
For
So if
sure,
I may
nagtitake note yung viewers natin, kuya.
Opo, so if I may to summarize po, because of course, for the most part of it po, Doc Mommy, yung mga viewers po natin, siguro first time nila nakarinig ng mga ginamit niyo pong terms kanina. So correct me if I'm wrong. So to begin with, this virus po is basically foreign to our body, foreign po siya. So when it enters po, diyan pa magre-react na yung mga T cells and the B cells which are part of our immune system. I do recall may mga T3 cells pa nga yan, Doc, di ba? Yung mga tinatawag na T3 cells. And the B cells will serve as a backup. Ginagawa niya ng memory na the next time around, pag dumating yung virus, na kikilala na siya ng B cells. At sinasabi niya, alam ko na, he's foreign, but this time, ma-recognize na siya or kilala na siya. This time though, meron na siyang panlaban dun sa virus. So kaya natin ini-induce sa patient yung mga vaccine in a manner para ipakilala na ahead of time dun sa katawan natin itong certain virus na to. Tama po ba, Doc?
Yes, but without causing the inflammation.
Correct. Because without the effect ng mga
Their ability.
Sige, go ahead po, Doc.
Yes.
Kumbaga weekend
Without the ability, right. And minsan, the whole virus itself has been killed, di ba? By a chemical or by other means.
Pero pero yung protein niya, kilala na ng katawan natin.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Doc.
Yes.
Now let's go po to some of the frequently asked questions kasi we have misconceptions. So this part of the interview that we're doing with you right now po, Mami Doc, would definitely clear a lot of misconceptions. So let me begin the first question. Who should get the COVID-19 vaccine?
The COVID-19 vaccines are safe, no? For most people, 18 years and older. Now, how old is older? They say that as old as 75 years old is eligible or kasama sa mga dapat ma-vaccinate, no? Now, there are also some conditions or persons who have pre-existing conditions like autoimmune diseases, hypertension, diabetes, asthma, pulmonary, liver, and kidney disease. Here's the big news, mga kapatid ko. All we have to do is become controlled. O, balik tayo. Let's have controlled hypertension. Let's have controlled diabetes. Let's have controlled asthma. Let's have pulmonary, liver, and kidney disease. So chronic infections that are all stable and controlled can be candidates for vaccination. Eh, doktora, ang BP ko is 180 over 120. Pwede po ba ako? Now, you will not be rejected outright. You will be made to sit in a corner and relax. Wait and see if that blood pressure is just because you just saw the number of people being vaccinated or the queue is so big or perhaps the area is so hot. No? You will just be made to sit down, and perhaps when it goes down to 150 over 100, then you can be vaccinated. No? Give you a little drink there or coolness in front of the air conditioning, then you can be vaccinated. But if it doesn't change, then that is already the hypertensive emergency, and you must be brought to the nearest facility.
Okay. Alright. So, Mami Doc, next question po natin. Ito yung tanong po ng marami sa ating mga viewers. What are the possible po na side effects if we get vaccinated?
No, I can really answer that because I myself suffered from most of them. I was injected like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And then when I went home, I had this feeling of very slow. And I had this throbbing headache. And I wanted to go under the sheet already. I want to crawl. And then middle of the night, I took paracetamol. And then in the morning, I was feeling very, very weak. But I had to go on clinic the next day. So I went and I ate my breakfast and started the clinic as if nothing was happening inside me. But I was already burning with fever. And also to remind everybody, I had a COVID infection way back August last year. So I was also thinking that maybe because of that infection, some of the retaining antibodies I got were fighting off this vaccine as well. So you have pain, redness, swelling, tenderness at the shot area. I had that. Fatigue or feeling very low. Headache, yes, most of the time you have it. Muscle and joint pains and chills. So that I really wanted to go over the sheets.
Magkumot na, opo.
Kumot na. And then put on something heavy. Nausea, vomiting, and fever. I only had one episode of vomiting. Maybe because I wanted so much to sleep, I wasn't able to eat on time. So these things are very common. But one thing I noticed with one of my nurses, the moment she was injected around also 5 p.m., when she got home, like 4 or 5 hours, she began to develop chills already, and uncontrollable chills. And then she had to call me up and ask me what to do. So I gave her some pointers, and the next day she was already coughing a lot. And this girl ended up with pneumonia.
Okay.
Okay,
But
so
we also managed her conservatively, we did. And she's okay now.
okay.
So,
So next
So,
question natin,
see,
Kuya.
okay,
I
so Doc, since we're already here in the topic of side effects, it's inevitable for, like what you said, each and every one of us reacts, our body reacts
Mhm.
differently from the vaccines. Again, it's a foreign
Exactly.
protein from our body. Now, what should I do? What would somebody do? Say, for example, they experience these side effects, for Mommy Doc.
well, first of all, don't panic. Nothing can be achieved by being panicky or having all this wondering what will happen next, no?
Mm-hmm.
Then we should address everything we feel, like fever, you have paracetamol, drink
Mm-hmm.
plenty of water, contact your doctors and healthcare providers so they can give you some more pointers. And also, yes, well, tender loving care will really do a lot. Yes, from our family, from our supporters, from our friends, no?
Yes.
Just hearing them consoling you, maybe your fever will really go down.
So
They're
ayan
concerned,
po,
right?
sa ating mga viewers po,
Mhm.
if nakapagpabakuna na po kayo, wag po tayong magpapanik. Kung ano man pong symptoms ang maranasan natin, ay gawin lang po kung ano yung ginagawa natin even before. At kung meron man pong mga hindi natin alam, mag-contact po tayo sa ating mga doctors or healthcare providers as, yan nga, sabi nga po ni Mommy Doc. So Mommy Doc, may next question pa po tayo kasi ito, medyo tanong din po ng iba, na kapag nabakunahan na, so okay na. Pero can we stop taking precautions after po nating mabakunahan or hindi po dapat?
Correct.
Yes, that's a very nice question. These people who have been vaccinated are not out of danger, in as much as people who have not yet been vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
All of us are still prone to this infection. Now, up until the next injection, and then we'll count another 2 weeks when our full protection can be assured.
Mhm.
So then, let's begin to do what we've been practicing, minimal or maximal mode of protection, like our face mask, our face shields, frequent washing, take a bath every day. Me, when I come from my clinic, I go upstairs and, take my bath just to physically and mentally make myself think that I'm okay.
Opo. Peace of mind, Doc, no?
Yeah, peace of mind. And I won't transfer it to my
Yes.
grandchildren. Kasi
Okay.
I love to cuddle them after my clinic.
Para wala pong sakit for sure. So, Kuya, I think we have another, do you have another question lined up po, Kuya Randall?
Now, Doc, granting, Doc, na nabakunahan na ako, I just got my first vaccine.
Mhm.
Can I have a different vaccine from that of my first dose po?
Uy, nga.
There are some clinical trials in some countries, not yet in our country, looking at that, whether we can have first vaccine A, and then after some time when vaccine A won't be available and there's another vaccine B, there's not enough data to support that. But perhaps in the next coming months, there will be good related studies that for sure they will post and everybody will see it. So at the moment, not.
Okay. So,
It's
take
not
the same
advisable.
vaccine po. Opo.
Yes, same
Okay.
vaccine, yes.
Okay, so, meron pa po tayong questions, Mami, kasi maraming mga questions ng ating viewers. So, can I get vaccinated for against COVID-19 po while I'm currently sick with COVID-19? So, kung may sakit po ako ngayon, may COVID ako, pwede na po ba ako magpabakuna or kailangan po munang magpagaling ako?
Unfortunately, people with COVID-19, current symptoms and current infections, positive PCR tests, should wait to be vaccinated until they have recovered from illnesses.
Oh, okay.
The
Yes.
latest that they have now is as soon as you're out of the hospital, you can get vaccinated. That means
Okay.
you have recovered. No need of waiting 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. No, As soon as you're out of the hospital, you can get
Then
vaccinated
you can get.
Okay.
if there's a
Alright.
vaccine available.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, in connection po, Mommy Doc, in connection po to the question earlier ni Bea. So, say for example, gumaling na ako, like what you said, and fully recovered, do I still need to get vaccinated with COVID-19 since meron naman na akong antigen siguro na na-develop ng katawan ko, di po ba?
Also a good question. Remember, I told you I had a COVID infection, right?
Yes.
Unfortunately, at that time, there was no rollout yet. But again, as I said earlier, the best thing that would happen is for you to get vaccinated after recovery.
Okay.
When they discharge you and there happens to be a rollout of vaccination in your area, go there and have yourself vaccinated. That's
Okay.
safe.
So everybody
Thank
has
you
to
po.
get vaccinated, whether kayo po ay nagkaroon ng COVID or hopefully hindi pa naman, magpapabakuna po
Hopefully.
tayong lahat. Yes.
Yes,
Alright.
yes.
So ito po, Mami Doc, may mga nagtatanong din po kasi syempre, sometimes of course, iba-iba yung situation natin, lalo sa mga kababaihan, no? So if
Yeah.
somebody is pregnant po, can they get COVID-19 vaccine po?
Fortunately, I'm not pregnant. So yeah, to answer you, yes, you
Alright.
can be vaccinated. There's a joint agreement in our country and in other countries that pregnant women can be vaccinated.
Good.
Yes.
Oh,
So,
nice.
so since tinanong na po, Mami Doc ni Bea, doon sa mga pregnant women, let's fast forward things. Yung mga lactating mothers naman, can they get vaccinated po as well? Kasi may mga iba, they're in hesitation po eh. Oh, baka kasi may effect dun sa bata while they're breastfeeding po.
Yes, by nature, mothers are really overprotective of their young ones, diba?
Yes,
But
po.
we can safely say that you can nurse your children, nurse your newborn while you have been vaccinated.
Alright.
Yes, the answer is very clear. We can be nursing our small children even if we've just been vaccinated. It is safe.
Okay. So buti naman.
Nice, no?
Oo nga po.
Whereby our children can also have the benefit of the vaccines that just have been injected to us. No?
Exactly.
Very nice.
Nabibigay na sa
And
kanila.
also, a very good thing about newborns, let's say the pregnant woman hasn't been vaccinated yet. No, not yet.
Mhm.
And the baby will be born to this COVID infected world. No?
Yes.
It is so nice to hear that until up to the 6-month antibodies from the mother. So nasa safety zone pa rin si baby.
Alright, that's very nice to hear, lalo na po sa mga buntis po ngayon, ano, at mga anak po soon, hindi na po tayo kailangan magpanik kaagad. So after the 6 months, maybe at 1-year-old po, we can start asking our doctors po if they can be vaccinated or not. So, okay, so
Ayan.
Mami Doc, thank you po. Yun po yung ating first part po ng ating interview. Meron pa i-share mamaya si Mami Doc po sa atin dahil may mga nakahanda pa po siyang kwento para sa atin. But for now, we'll have our shoutouts po. So si Kuya Randall ay nagre-ready na. Ako muna, Kuya Randall, kung okay lang po.
Go ahead, Bea.
Alright po, from Ka Roberto, happy Saturday po sa lahat. Hello po Kuya Randall and Ate Bea. Hello po Team YouTube. Sabay-sabay tayong matuto at maging healthy for tonight's episode. Greetings po mula sa lokal ng Bangsar po. Good evening po mga kapatid. Hello po Kuya Randall and Ate Bea. Greetings po mula sa lokal ng Mayaw, distrito po ng Quezon. Mula naman po ika Jonah Fe. Nanonood po mula sa lokal ng Burgos, distrito po ng Ilocos Sur. Keep safe everybody. And from Kuya Jack Daniel po, happy viewing po. We love all INC programs. Greetings po mula sa Nagkaisang Nayon, Quezon City. Alright.
Ayan.
Kuya Randall, how about sa iyo dyan?
And to continue with the greetings po, Bea, Kajubilin would like to say happy watching in the weekend. Sa mga kapatid, hello Ate Bea and Kuya Randall. Greetings coming from the local of Matimbo, distrito ng Bulacan South. Hello po sa inyo dyan sa Bulacan South. Kay Ka Gavin naman po, happy viewing po sa mga kapatid from San Francisco, San Pablo City, Laguna. Regards po kay Doktora Mina Ignacio. God bless po. Ayan. And from Ka Arlene Joy, hello po mga kapatid. Pagbati po mula sa lokal ng Bañadero, distrito ng Calamba City, Laguna. And 2 more from my end. Hello din po sa lahat ng mga kapatid. Since kanina pa tayo bumabati sa mga taga Laguna. Sa lokal naman po ng Kadlubang, hello po mga kapatid dyan. Greetings coming from Sister Rhea. Lalo na po sa aming minamahal na destinado kay Ka Gerson po. And to the Trinidad family po, or INCTV program.
Sa lahat ng di ba po namin nabati po, watching on INCTV, Facebook, and YouTube. Magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. Sana po ay marami po kayong natututunan. And now po, para naman meron tayong konting kasiyahan, let's do our sound check for tonight's episode. At dahil dyan, let's get straight to playing our sound check. Sound? So, Kuya Kevin, pakiplay na nga yan. Makikinig na kami ni Kuya Randall. Ano nga ba ang ating sound check for tonight?
Palalakasan ko lang yung volume para
Opo.
baka mahulaan ko this time.
Ngayon, no, Kuya?
Is that it?
Pwedeng one more, Kuya Kev, ng mas malakas po.
Of paper.
Papa for this week.
So that's just between you and I. And for now, let's involve for our viewers, Bea. So please, for your guesses po, just plug it in on our comment section with, of course, the hashtag soundcheck. And Bea and I will read all your guesses, including po yung mga greetings ninyo if you may. Kung may mga gusto po kayong batiin, isama nyo na po doon sa pag-guess ninyo for our mystery sound. Ayan.
Alright. Okay. And
So now, Bea,
yes, Kuya, go.
while we await for all their guesses, kindly please introduce to us how the game Mouthwatch is done. And of course, introduce mo na rin yung ating magiging host.
Alright po, so diretso na po tayo sa ating Mouthwatch. Alam nyo na to, alam nyo naman, no? Every week. So, this is how we play Mouthwatch. Our games moderator po, usually ang ating pong guest speaker po, will be saying words silently po. Usually regarding sa topic naman po natin ang inihahanda po nila. So for this week, of course, si Mommy Dr. Ruby will be our games moderator. And of course, kami po ang maglalaro para po sa ating mga viewers. Si Kuya Randall and ako po ang maglalaro. But of course, you can also play the game po along with us sa atin po mga comment section. At pwede rin pong sumigaw sa inyong mga bahay. Wag lang po masyadong malakas. Okay, so Mommy Doc, ready na po ba kayo?
Yes, I am ready.
Alright po, okay. So for now, I guess, let's have our first word po. Baka may clue din po kayo, Mami Doc. Naka-ready na po kami ni Kuya Randall.
Ready?
Yes.
Yes po, Mami Doc.
Protein.
Ayan, parang, di kaya protein yan, Bea?
Nadinig po namin yung second word, Mami, pero Kuya, may hula ka ba?
I'd say protein.
It's spike
Pero,
protein.
yan.
Yes!
Yes! O Kuya, 0.5. 0.5. Hati tayo, Kuya. 0.5.
Yan yung mag-a-attach daw, di ba? Yung sinabi kanina ni Mami Doc.
Yes. Dapat nakinig kayo sa mga viewers natin dahil parang doon yata kinuha ni Mami Doc yung ating quiz ngayon sa ano. Sige, so Mami Doc. Second word po natin.
Viral.
Ay!
Vector.
Mami, nadidinig po namin, Mami. Opo. Parang may clue. Malupit ang inyo pong clue. Medyo dinig po namin, Mami. Medyo volume down pa po. So, bonus po yun sa ating lahat. Yung viral vector. Yun sinabi kanina ni Mami. Kasama po dun sa parts ng ating COVID-19 na virus mismo. Alright, so, Mami, third word po natin. Tapos medyo pa-volume down dahil gusto po namin ng challenge ni Kuya Randall. Yes.
B-cells.
Yes! Wow, Kuya!
B-cells.
You got it right!
Yeah, articulate naman kasi si Doc eh. You
Yes.
can basically read her lips. All right. So I guess we're up to the last word since we're running out of time. Tama po ba, Bea?
Yes po. Mag-last word tayo, Mami. Another one po. Lymph nodes? Yes!
Ayan, oo.
Yes! Alright.
Ayan. So at least
You
hindi tayo
listen very
nag-zero.
well.
Yes,
Yes,
Mami.
of course. Oh,
At
you're a good
nagbasa.
teacher naman po, Mami Doc. That's the
Exactly.
entire reason behind it.
Alright
Ayan.
po. Okay.
Okay, so thank you so much po, Mami Doc, and you've been such a good host. Thank you so much. Even if yung mga ibang words naman, kung hindi natin pinakinggan, talagang mahihirapan tayo. Pero since the beginning po,
Exactly.
as well, kaya nasagot po namin ni Bea. So it's time for us to reveal now what our mystery sound is. Go ahead, please. Bea.
Yes! Kuya, you got this one right! Woo!
Oh, alam mo, Bea, I'll never forget episode 11. We're at episode 11. Diba? I'll mark it on my calendar. Perhaps baka hindi na ito maulit. Brother Calvin, thank you so much for giving us this easy round. So perhaps baka hindi na ito maulit. It's already on my calendar. Episode 11, that's where I and Bea actually got the answer.
Got
and
it
for sure, kung
right.
nakuha natin, Bea, so it's good. Ayan.
Yes. Kaya naman katulad po ng sinabi dito, mabilisan na lang kuya, I'll read some of our responses po. Sabi ni Ka Francie, paper bag. Oh, pwede. Sabi ni Ate Hid, naglulukot ng papel. So, kuya, pero meron pa po tayo dito ilan.
Yeah. Sabi naman ni kapatid na Rosana is nagbabalot ng regalo, pero question mark. Pero yes, because basically you wrap it with a paper.
Yes.
Okay, so sabi naman ng Kachi, eto, on the dot, crumpling paper po. Ayan. Okay, Kachi, talagang natumbok mo. Bullseye po yan, crumpling paper. And from Kyle naman po, crumpling paper din po. So, this is perhaps one of those na napakaraming nakuha. Sana, Brother Kevin, the rest and the remaining of our episodes, ganito, parang easy round. Mamaya na yung medyo challenging.
Si Kuya
Alright,
talaga.
salamat.
Alright, Kuya, sige, maiba tayo. Tama na yung soundcheck na yan. Next week na lang ulit. Parang meron ka pa mga naka-reading questions for Mami Doc, Kuya. I think we have a couple more.
Okay, so let's continue po. And Mami Doc, once again, we're here on our discussion po regarding the vaccines for COVID-19. So, Mami Doc, we understand that you've been accepting patients po in your clinic.
Mm-hmm.
So, how is it right now at this time of pandemic? What precautions have you made or your staff has made, not just basically for the patients, but including yourself and your entire staff po?
Early in the morning, as the patients will come in, we have a triage that will one of our nursing aides will look at the temperature, the blood pressure, and also take some more vital signs, and then register their names. A separate area will be for those who are febrile and with cough. They understand that we have to do this in order also to protect other patients that are with them at the time. And then they are called upon as they come in, as they register. Now, as we, the health workers, we don our mask, our face shields, our PPEs also. And then later in the day, when there are so many activities going on, we will make sure that nobody escapes the routine checkup we do. And we separate patients according to their illnesses also. Now, since we are also a lying-in clinic, we also separate our pregnant women who are not sick, who are just there for their monthly prenatal checkup. And for some children also, since they are children, we assume that they don't have COVID, right? Because they're children. We also have another space for them. So we will have suspect cases, we have non-suspect cases, and we have pregnant uh, clients also, or patients also. So that's how we protect ourselves.
Okay. So talaga po kumbaga discipline and meron na po kayong kumbaga set of rules that you follow every day po no mommy. Pero maiba tayo. Let's go away from the topic of COVID and na topic na pag-usapan na natin yan kanina. Let's talk about a little bit about Mommy Doc. So Mommy Doc, bakit po kayo naging isang physician? Who or what inspired you to become a doctor po?
It's a long story, but a nice one.
Yes
We'll
po.
cut it short, mga 3
Yes
minutes.
po.
Okay, 3 sentences.
Concise na lang, brief and concise.
Oo. So when I was in high school, it was late night, raining, it was cool, and it was already late already, like 11 o'clock. You know, in Manila at that time, it was already silent. No? We don't have video
Yes
game,
po.
we don't have TV still going on, none. There was this knock, a very distinct knock on our door, and it was so persistent, insistent, that my father had to go up from his bed and go down and look at these people who are knocking. When he opened the door, he saw two elder people. We assumed that they're husband and wife, and they said, and they were already wet, no, with the rain and all. They said, "Can we come in for the night? We are hungry and we are very tired." So my father, without thinking twice, invited them inside. No, well, because before we really didn't think that these people will be bad people, right? We always assume and do good to others.
Yes.
So my father fed them, gave them the blankets, gave them a place to stay. And in the morning, I was going to school already. They saw me and they asked my parents, "What would your child like to be when she grows up?" My father and mother unanimously answered, "We want her to be a doctor, but we cannot afford it." You see, my parents only live by making toys made out of tin that they sell in Divisoria. So it will be impossible, and children of 4 to study medicine, it's so impossible. And then these famous words came out of these two people who stayed the night. "Your child can now study medicine. We will give her the scholarship."
What?
And that's when my mother said, "God is so gracious and kind. We did not look for this blessing. It just came upon our door on a very, very, unexpected night.
Opo.
We could be sleeping, right? We could have ignored the knock. It was so distinct knock, so insistent, that as if now, looking at it, maybe God was really knocking on our door. "Hey, let these people in. This will help your daughter become a doctor." And that's it. I became a doctor. I passed all the tests. My parents did not spend for my tuition fees. They were all paid for. I just had to earn good grades. I studied from my elementary, high school to pre-med and college. They were all free.
Wow.
So that was such a big blessing po, awaiting po, ano po.
Yes, so big
Now
blessing.
po, now that you're a doctor po, how would you continue your parents' legacy po of kindness?
First, I wanted to share the blessings. I have managed to stay in the country. I did not go abroad and serve non-Filipinos. I stayed in the community. I wanted my neighbors to learn that I am already a doctor and out there to help them. That extended to other towns nearby, to other cities nearby. You know what? I'm from Las Piñas, but my patients come from Pasay, come from Batangas. they come from
All
America.
over.
You
From
see,
all over po.
from all over. because maybe I have already shown myself the sincerity, and I always try to improve myself to the latest that the medicine can offer nowadays. And also like this instances where I can share to, say, million viewers. That is how I wanted my being a physician be remembered. And that's how I want to live, to be able to share also most of the
That is so
time.
inspiring. Go ahead,
Iiyak
Bea.
na si iiyak na si
Ang
Bea.
ganda po kasi ng kwento na, yun simula ano yun, for sure po, ayan, katulad ng kinukwento ngayon ni Mami Doc, tumatak sa kanya experience na yun na parang it was a very, kumbaga kung sasabihin nga po na malaking factor of why she's a doctor now, why she's doing what she's doing, why Mami Doc is doing what she's doing na nag-stay kayo sa country. Nakakatuwa kasi, di ba meron po tayong show or may program po tayo or activity po tayo sa loob ng Iglesia ni Cristo na, di ba, may INC giving tayo. And yung kanila pong, should we say, words po nila is, make kindness contagious. Yun po
Yeah.
yung parang nakikita ko po, yun yung binubuhay ni Mami Doc. So besides that po, so Mami Doc, so of course you serve in the healthcare industry po to whoever po. Sabi niya, yun nga pong lying in clinic niyo po ay hindi na lang po lying in clinic. You accept everybody. You don't want to turn anybody away. But besides that po, what do you think is the best kindness po that you can give? Is there any other kind of kindness po na kaya niyo pang ibigay bukod po sa pagtulong po sa kanilang kalusugan?
I am also using my profession to encourage my patients to study our religion, our faith, by giving them enough time. I visit them in their homes, bring a manggagawa, no? Our minister also, I bring them, and we study the Bible. I myself there, and the family I wish to go to. And I'm so happy to tell you that I already have so many families who have joined in our faith. There was one time I couldn't get the husband to study with us. You know what I did? We went to Calamba in the hilltop where he is doing his work as a security guard. I brought our minister, and we studied under the mango tree atop the hill. And you know, this guy, he didn't want any part of our faith. He didn't want it. But his family is already inside. I already had began with the family members. He was the last one that I wanted to get in. But God maybe wanted him to get in. And he couldn't say no to me because I was so kind to them. And then when this time came, and you know what? He drinks a lot of alcohol. He has so many vices. And one day he stopped doing all these things. And we were able to study under the tree. Whether it's raining, whether it's sunlight, we are there every Monday and Wednesday. We go to his place, Laguna. See?
Basically, Doc, your profession... Okay, go ahead, Doc.
It's not a hindrance for me to go out and seek people who I wanted so much to share with our faith. It's not a hindrance that there's a clinic. I will ask the patients to come back when I'm already back from the Bible study. And we were able to finish. And I'm really happy to tell you that all of them are now baptized. Just
Thank you so much
this
po, Doc.
January.
Wow,
Salamat.
nice.
So, Doc, basically, the best act of kindness that you've shown is sharing your faith. Maraming salamat po, Doc. And we've learned so much, not just on the side of the medical field, but also on how you shared your kindness by sharing your faith. Now, after hearing that, Bea, let's hear what the Bible says.
Why am I so sad? Why am I so troubled? I will put my hope in God, and once again I will praise Him, my Savior and my God.
And once again, we're back here at UJ Radio. And of course, before this episode would come to a conclusion, we can never forget po to thank our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, and our CFO Coordinator, Brother Angelo V. Manalo. Thank you po for your unfailing support to this program and to the rest of the programs under INCPC. Maraming salamat.
And of course, thank you po ng marami po kay Mami Doc po, kay Mami Doktora Ruby Andoque. Thank you for your time for tonight, for sharing with us your story, and of course, yun po mga information na natutunan natin. Of course, thank you po sa ating mga viewers na walang sawa pong sumusuporta po at nakakasama namin sa UJ Radio at maging sa ating mga ibang shows katulad ng, so eto na syempre. We have of course Fit to Serve po every Sunday, 8 o'clock in the morning. We have Songs of Faith, Love, and Hope, PNK edition, Sundays at 5 p.m. po. We have Spotlight Season 6, Sunday naman po yan ng 7 p.m. po. We have, of course, INCMV by request ng Alauna. That's Monday to Friday. And of course, yun pong ating 7 o'clock episode with Kuya Ryan and Brian ng Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Continue po na mag-invite po tayo ng mga magda-download ng atin pong INC playlist application. At kung meron na, of course, continue to use it every day for your favorite INC original music. And of course po, continue to like, share, subscribe, and follow po ang ating pong INC Production Company Facebook page and YouTube channel to stay updated for our various activities, programs, and our latest INC music videos. And on Saturday po mga kapatid, Saturday, May 1, please join us on an earlier time slot just for that day po. We'll be airing at 6 p.m. po on UJ Radio po, 6 p.m. to give way po to INCMV Awards 2021 at 8 o'clock in the evening. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, so find out po which among the hundreds of INCMV entries will win this year. Show your support po by viewing, liking, and sharing your district's entries posted on the INC Production Company's YouTube channel. Ayan.
Okay, so in behalf of the entire staff of UJ Radio, once again, thank you for joining us. This has been another Unity Junction Radio brought to you by the Iglesia ni Cristo Production Company, promoting Christian culture. Maraming salamat po. Continue to stay safe and a happy weekend to everyone.
And of course, we'll leave you with a last INCMV performed by Brother Christian Castillo po mula sa ating and with the INC Concert Ensemble as performed in the INC Production Company 2020 year-end concert. Here is Panalangin. Enjoy this one po. We'll see you again next Saturday po mga kapatid. Thank you again and bye-bye! Bye-bye po. Thank you po, Mami Doc. Thank you po.
See you next weekend. Salamat po, Doc.
Dalangin po namin sa'yo, Ama. Sambahayan po namin ay ingatan. Magulang po namin ilayo sa panganib. Gabayan mo po sila. Bigyan ng panibagong lakas mula pa sa kanilang pagkabata. Ikaw na ang kanilang pinaglingkuran. Ngayong sila'y matanda na, wag mo po silang iiwan. Ikaw po ang aming matibay na kublihan. Makapangyarihan ka po sa lahat, sa'yo kami naglalagak ng pag-asa. Dalangin po namin ay pakinggan. Iligtas po, Ama, ang aming buong sambahayan. Kami po ay pinalaking sa'yo, sa paglilingkod kami ay iminulat. Pagmamahal sa tungkulin ang itinuro nilang yaman, ang magagawa mo po ang aming panghawakan. Oh, wow, wow, makapangyarihan ka po sa lahat, sa'yo kami naglalagak ng pag-asa. Dalangin po namin ay pakinggan, pagkat ang nais po namin ay paglingkuran ka pa. Sa'yo po ang aming buhay, pangako po namin ang buhay na bigay mo'y di namin sasayangin. Gagamitin namin sa pagbibigay kalwalhatian sa'yo. Makapangyarihan ka po sa lahat, sa'yo kami naglalagak ng pag-asa. Dalangin po namin ay pakinggan, patuloy pong maglilingkod ang aming buong sambahayan. Pangako po sa'yo,